blade, too sharp to touch, too soft to fade. I reach with hands that burn to hold, but she's a relic cast in gold, a treasure locked in time and fate, a grail behind a guarded gate. She sees the world, but not my flame. I'm just a shadow without a name. Open it once, a dagger for you. Open it twice, it splits in two. No spring, just balance, just mystery mechanics. Alchem performs where the others panic. Unique in design, a grail to find. Beauty and fury, edge refined. Alchemy in action, a steel divide. Close up that blade in perfect time. And soul, chrome reflections control and roll. Pistons pound like a war drum's cry. Roaring truth neath the twilight sky. Lines so sleek they make gods weep. Power coiled like secrets deep. Not just a car, it's the blade I tame. Just like this knife, it's an obsession game. Cars, guns, girls, and knives, it's all the same. Open it once, a dagger for you. Open it twice, it splits in two. No spring, just balance, just mystery mechanics. Alchem performs where the others panic. Unique in design, a grail to find. Beauty and fury, edge refined. Alchemy in action, a steel divide. Close up that blade in perfect time. When spells were cast in smoke, and iron hearts from anvils woke, a wizard whispered to the flame, give this blade a second name. Blacksmith hands and sacred lore, built a knife that could be more. Strike once and demons fall, strike again, it conquers all. A dagger for you. Open it twice, it splits in two. No spring, just balance, just mystery mechanics. Alchem performs where the others panic. Unique in design, a grail to find. Beauty and fury, edge refined. This is no toy, no trick of light. It's a hero's hand in darkest fight. Alchemy in action, born to cut. When the blade sings, the silence shuts.
Hey guys, Jim here. Welcome back once again to my channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at something unbelievably ridiculous. The Poikilo blade and Mundus knives alchem. Some knives are made for daily carry or at least occasional carry. Others are made for the battlefield. And then there's the alchem. Made not for carry, not for combat, but for conjuring gasps from grown men at knife shows. Are you ready for this? I don't know that you are. Now that's enough right there, looking at that to go, man, this thing is insane. It's crazy. I've never seen anything like it. Oh, but my friend, it gets so much crazier. The only thing I'm going to give you a warning about right now in this video, I can't do a lot of manipulating of this knife on screen because it's so huge and I'm afraid of either hitting my camera or hitting my leather backdrop. Born from the brilliant madness of Mundus knives and executed by Poikilo blade, the alchem is equal parts cutting tool, mechanical flex, and sci-fi art insanity. Now here's why. Yep. That is a crazy split blade dagger. Never seen anything like it. It's unapologetically overbuilt, obscenely complicated, and utterly useless for anything practical. And I love it for that. Let's be honest. Nobody needs this knife. Nobody. But that's exactly the point. The alchem isn't about need. It's about want. It's about shock and awe. And a sprinkle of what the hell is that thing? Which is the general reaction people are going to get when you show this to them. Look at the complexity of how this is put together. With the gears and the links and the bolts and, oh my God, everything. Now, others would have you believe that this is a magic trick, that when you switch this pivot, it either opens or closes the blade inside of the handle. But that's not the case. What it's doing is it's setting up. Think of, I don't know what they're called, so this may be a bad example, but think of like on the railroad tracks, when they set it up to move the train to a different track. That's something that's happening mechanically, that as the train approaches and then becomes affected by that, then it does that thing. Well, that's what this is doing here. The mechanics are still working as you're opening the blade, not while the blade is closed inside of the handle. This thing is ridiculous. Now, the first thing you notice about this knife after you stop hyperventilating is the overall design. It's like someone reverse engineered a puzzle box from a Dune prop house and then told a CNC machine, good luck, fucker. Open it once, and it's this sinister dagger straight out of a dark fantasy movie. Open it again, and the blade splits, transforming it into something else entirely. A twin blade configuration that makes no sense and perfect sense all at the same time. Is it magic? No, it's better. It's engineering so obsessive that it should be in therapy. This is some Batcave level of design shit right here. Everything on this knife is machined with obsessive precision. The lockup is bank vault solid. The surfaces are finished to within a micron of sanity. And the tolerances are tighter than your last holiday budget. This is a blade that was clearly agonized over, refined endlessly, and built with absolutely no regard for conventional practicality. I want you to hear something here. Now listen real careful. Now, unfortunately, this isn't being filmed in Filovision. so you can't feel it vibrating in my hands. And that may be a good thing. I don't know if you really want to feel anything vibrating in my hands. But what they've done is they have built, let's see if I can get this to focus. An actual tuning fork into the frame. And I'm mad that they did this because this was something I was thinking of doing that I have not had the chance to do yet, and somebody beat me to it. Because Over the years, we hear people talking about the harmonics of certain knives as they lock up when they're opening or close. And I always thought, wouldn't that be cool to exaggerate that effect by putting an actual tuning fork in the titanium handle? Well, somebody did it. Apparently, it works. The problem is, my camera is not going to pick up all of the wonderful vibratory sounds that this knife makes. You're hearing some of it, but not all of it. I want to give a huge thank you to a new buddy who was watching my Mundus Knives Carmen review, where I talked about this knife, as I've tried for 2 years to get my hands on this. When this knife was first developed, when nobody knew what the hell it was, I had reached out to Mundus Knives to get one. I'm like, oh my God, I need to review this. This is the craziest thing I've ever seen. And they said, unfortunately, we don't have any way to ship goods into the United States because these are made in China. They're designed and made in China. And they just simply couldn't figure out how to do it at the time. And I was so bummed. And then a year later, I see a couple of my buddies here on YouTube reviewing it. And I went, I guess they figured out how to get them into the damn country, huh? Unfortunately, they didn't remember our conversation first, because I would have loved to have been the first person to come out here with this. It doesn't really matter, but it would have been fun. It's a little feather in your cap when you're the first to bring out something really, really cool like this. I'm just happy to get it in my hands right now. So I had made the review on my Mundus Knives Carmen, which I still carry all the time and thoroughly, thoroughly love. It's crazy, but I love it. And I had mentioned in there, I was trying to get my hands on one of these for a couple of years. I really wish I could. And then I got a message from someone who has asked me not to reveal his name, and I will certainly respect that. He says, hey man, I've got one of the alchems. If you want to check it out, I'm happy to send it out to you, do a guest blade on it. It'd be my pleasure. So I was like, shit, yeah, absolutely. I would love to do it. And the guy, here's how awesome this guy was. And this is how much you just have to love our community. He sends me his insanely expensive, crazy ass knife, trusts me with it, and on top of that, throws a knife in the box to give me as a gift. And not some garbage little knife, but a Kurt American Riot production collaboration knife. Oh my God, I just forgot the darn name of the knife. I'm so sorry. And I've been carrying that thing like crazy. I've been enjoying the hell out of it. And he's like, here, enjoy it. I think that this is right up your alley. And he was absolutely right. Thank you, thank you, thank you again. And then he says, by the way, if maybe you're so impressed with this thing that you're falling in love with it, that you want to buy it, I'll cut you a crazy deal. And he just generalized what that crazy deal would be. Way, 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 way less than what they sold for. Way less. I was like, oh man, that's kind of tempting. And then I picked it up and I went, I can't carry it. There's no pocket clip. It weighs a ton. I think this thing weighs somewhere around 3 or 4 pounds. No, I'm kidding. It's 7.5 ounces. But I went, okay, this is not a knife I'm ever going to carry. Obviously, a knife that I can't really ever use. It is purely a display piece and a show-off piece and really great for photography. But that's really about it. But you know what? Sometimes I like that. I want a nice display piece, so I'm going to buy it from him. Also, I'm going to buy it from him because I have had this thing far longer than I would have ever expected. My life has turned into utter chaos over the past month, and I've had this over a month now. I had promised to turn it around within 2 weeks. So, also because I feel bad, I'm going to buy it from him. I have to have this in my collection. There's nothing I can ever do with it, but it's so darn cool. Now, there is one nitpick to give it that I absolutely cannot stand. It's the very aggressive jimping that they've done here. It cuts into your finger if you're doing this often, because the way you have to, this is a gravity knife, by the way. I don't know if I explained that. I didn't. The only way to open it is you have to unlock it, swing the blade out, and then unlock it to close it. So that means pulling on this twice every time you're deploying and closing it. And it tears you up. It is really, really rough on the finger because you've got to put quite a bit of strength into bending these sections and unlocking that blade. That's it. I have nothing negative to say about this, because the only negative stuff you could say about it is obvious. The thing is crazy. It's impractical. It borders on stupidity. But I love it for that. This is a Hellcat. This is a Hummer. This is something that, sure, it does what others do, but does it in the most inconvenient way possible sometimes. And it's obtuse. It is very in your face. It is very look at me, which is why I have owned a Hellcat and have owned a Hummer, because I guess that's just who I am. Let's get into some specs here. Your blade steel is CPM 20 CV. Now, there is an alternate exotic steel variant. It depends on the build. They have versions of this that are 1400 like this. There are some that are 23 to 2500, and there, believe it or not, there is one that is $20,000, and you can go directly to the Mundus Knives website and see it there for $20,000. It's insanely ornate. They have done a tremendous amount of artwork to it, makes it truly beautiful, but truly expensive. Your blade length is 4¼ inches. This is not a tiny knife. Everything is full titanium except for the steel blades. The pivot is what they call a custom triangular pivot with multi-axis rotation. So when you're closing this, you're deciding which way you want the blade by squeezing the pivot and then turning it. And it's locking and unlocking a series of gears that determine how it's going to come out when it opens. It's an integrated hidden frame lock is what they call it. Closed length is 5¾ inches. It weighs 7.8 ounces, or as I like to call it, a pocket anchor. It was designed by Mundus Knives, and it was built by Poikilo Blade. Now let's talk about what it's not good for. Everyday carry? No, only if your pants are made of adamantium. Food prep? Sure, if you're a vegan who also eats squirrels. That statement makes no sense, just the same way this knife makes no sense. Self-defense? Sure, if you can deploy it before your attacker dies of old age, maybe. Because you've got to get this out of, I don't know, you carry it in your pocket, whatever you're doing. Then you've got to pull back on this, give that a swing, get your hand back up on it, and only this side is sharpened because this side faces the open side of the handle, and it's not very sharp. This would take some work to bring to a fine edge. And I honestly think that is for export purposes. I think they are exporting this as more of a novelty, like a statue or a paperweight or something, so that they have pretty much a dull edge on it for that reason. I'm fairly certain. The alchem, in all seriousness, is not a tool. It's a testament. It exists to show what happens when artistry, machining, and utter madness are allowed to swirl around freely in a crucible of creative excess. See, crucible went back to the whole alchemy thing. Yeah, see, you like that? Yeah, I tied it all together. That's exactly what makes this so beautiful. This isn't a knife that you carry. It's a knife that you display under museum lighting with a smoke machine and a Gregorian chant playing softly in the background. It's ridiculous. It's impractical. It's heavy. It makes absolutely no sense. And it is, without question, one of the most jaw-dropping, over-engineered, beautifully bonkers knives ever created. If you're lucky enough to get one, don't ask what you'll do with it. Just admire it and see what it does to you. This is going to be one of those knives that changes the way you collect, and it may push you into the art knife world. Who knows? Thanks, guys, for watching as always, and I'll see you on the next video.